Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to Crendor Talks in front of a shitty green screen. Today, we're going to be reacting to Jesse reacting to the Jailer's death cinematic reaction. Now, I've already seen this cinematic, alright? This is the first time I've seen it. I saw it was released, and I saw people reacting to it on Twitter. And I was like, oh, I gotta go watch this. And I was like, it's pretty much what I expected, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what Jesse's got, all right? He's a big lore nerd. I'm not as big with the lore. I'm like, I still think, I still enjoy when there's good lore. You know what I mean? But, man, it's just, they need some rewriting people, man. All right, so let's go. Here we go.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to this reaction video to World of Warcraft 9.2, Eternity's End, the final two cinematics of Shadowlands.
Yep.
Figured we'd start big screen up front because I don't want to spoil myself. The video is over here, but it is hidden, and when we go, we're going.
All right, let's go.
I don't know what to expect.
How long is this?
The only
9 minutes.
thing I know is I got a text message today that let me know it was out, and it said, "Oh no, Jesse," laughy face emoji. That's how I knew this was out. So I feel like we should just jump into it and
let's do it. Jump right in.
See where this goes.
Can your mortal minds fathom how long I have waited?
Probably, yeah.
Every event set in motion, every pawn put into play, all to claim the power slumbering within your world. The soul of Azeroth, wounded, vulnerable, yet teeming with potential. Potential that I will use to eradicate this flawed reality. Death claims the soul of your world. Now, bear witness, mortals, to eternity's end.
So I'm going to keep it here, pause on this screen, because I feel like I have a lot to say about this part.
Do
but
tell.
Overall, not bad. I think it's a great introduction to the final boss. It ups the stakes, and it kind of explains a little bit of what Zovaal is trying to do.
I guess.
Probably throughout the course of the expansion. I have seen and commented on a lot of people having theories about what Zovaal was up to and how he's like 5D chessing stuff, and this has been his plan the entire time. I think
time out right here. When people start making like 5D theories, they're like, dude, the jailer, he's actually got this like epic plan. It's like, hold on. We're talking about the World of Warcraft lore team here. We're not talking about like, Brandon Sanderson or like George R.R. Martin or like these intense fantasy authors. We're talking about the World of Warcraft lore team. So I want you to think of the most simplistic answer to this scenario. And that's probably what it is. It might go a little above, but continue.
This scene in particular, this one right here, I think I
should probably shrink down a bit, actually. I'm bigger than he is.
Using the Forge of Souls, I believe that's what that's called. Using the Forge of Souls to kind of drill in and suck up all the Azeroth baby juice and use its powers for, again, don't necessarily know why. I just know now I get what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
But I don't know why.
I guess just
any of this.
He wants
Hopefully
power.
We'll find
I don't
out
know.
in the next cinematic. But I do kind of like the idea that, the Lich King's tower and that giant ice spire and all of it served a purpose. It does feel very kind of like Crystal Tower in Final Fantasy XIV. Wink, wink. No spoil.
I actually don't like that. Is that weird? I actually don't like that the Wrath of the Lich King tower served a purpose. I feel like its purpose was what it was in Wrath of the Lich King. It was just there. It was just Arthas. It was just, that's that's the thing. I feel like it was fine being left at that. You know what I mean? Just like leave it at that. Maybe there's a little mystery to it, but I feel like everything should have a little mystery to it. We don't need to know everything. And so I feel like that happens in a lot of books. There's a few books I've read recently where you don't know everything, and that's fine. It's like, hey, I guess that's just the way it is. You know, just you don't, in a story, you only give people enough knowledge about what they need for the story. You don't need to tell them everything. You can learn it down the line or in lore or whatever, or like in history and, you know, side stories or whatever it might be. But like, it just feels kind of like they were trying to, you know, give some, like, people liked Wrath of the Lich King, right? Let's just shoehorn that in there. There we go.
Spoilers there. It does feel a little bit like that, but I like when things that are set up have a payoff much later, or the ability to take things that exist and then use them in creative ways. I actually really like that about this.
That is true.
Zero complaints
It's
there.
the whole,
think
like,
that's kind of neat, and I wish that WoW did more of that, using old stuff.
It's like the whole, like, if you show something early, then obviously it's going to come back later in the story. It's like a very common writing technique, but this feels like this wasn't something they hinted at like last expansion. This was like, hey guys, we hinted at this at Wrath of the Lich King. Like, they didn't hint at it. It was a thing that happened, and they went back and took it to use it as a plot device. I don't know.
In fun, creative ways. They always are like, new. In this expansion, rather than delving into all the different possible things they could, they were like, all right, we have to introduce 4 new main characters, the 4 Primarchs, whatever the hell they're called, the people that are in charge of the different afterlife areas. And we have to introduce all these side characters, then this dude who eventually becomes the new whole chesty person. I don't know what the hell that person's called. Basically, all these new characters, while also dealing with old characters, but it means leaving out a bunch of stuff, and it also means, more importantly, that no one, it's like a mile wide, an inch deep is pretty much what's going on in WoW.
Yeah.
So when they do stuff like this, I really appreciate it, because it sort of adds more layers to things and makes things have a different context than what we originally thought without retconning stuff. And I think that's kind of fun. So far, not bad. It's a great introduction to the last boss fight. Like I said, raises the stakes.
It almost feels like a retcon. I guess that's my problem with it.
The Jailer's Fall. The in-game
it's like a really
cinematic
lazy
end of the
retcon
raid.
that isn't actually a retcon but feels like a retcon. All right, never mind.
This must not be.
You have betrayed your duty as Arbiter, and shall be bound forevermore. Your madness has threatened the cycle of life and death entire.
You could have sought another way, brother. Imagine what we could have accomplished together.
Why, Zovar? What drove you to this end? You preserve that which is doomed. A cosmos divided will not survive. What is to come?
Powering down. All right, let's hear what he's got.
All right. You know, can I tell you something?
All right.
This is how I feel. This is how I feel.
Dude, same. Hashtag same.
I'm just so tired.
Tired, lifeless.
Of the way that they tell story in World of Warcraft. I'm just so tired of it. They can't not do it. They always do the same thing.
Yep.
Every damn expansion is like, all those terrible things I did. It's only because there's something far worse. I'm at a loss for words. It keeps happening.
It's like a
First,
domino
it was
at this
Order
point.
and the Titans against Sargeras and the Fel, and then the Fel and Sargeras were going to scorch the universe to prevent the Void and the Void Lords from taking over, but the Void and the Void Lords were like, well, hey, we're trying to end death because...
I actually saw a thing. It was like, there's like a puppet, and then a puppet with the 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 puppet. It just keeps going. It's literally what it is. It's like, can we just stop? Just stop with the puppets above the other puppet. Just do something new and creative. Or like just... Okay, before I continue this, what I think made a villain like Arthas good was because he had some sort of humanity to him. He wasn't just like, I'm here to take over the world, which is like, this is like a kid show villain. Like, I'll take over the world. Like, this is Pinky in the Brain. You know what I mean? Like, come on. We're like, we're supposed to, like, Arthas, sure, he's like, okay, he decided to kill the town instead of save them. But, like, you can still kind of see what he's doing, where he's just, like, he's starting to slowly become more and more corrupted, and he's starting to gain power, and he's, like, he still has some humanity in him, where you look at him, like, even towards the end, he's kind of like the Darth Vader, right, where by the end of it, he still has that human part of him, but it's buried way deep down, where, you know, you see him, like, dying at the end, and he's, like, you know, like, what's the Arthas thing? He's like, all things must come to an end. I don't know, whatever it is. But you still see that little last bit of humanity leave him, right? And it's kind of like everybody can relate to that sort of gray area villain because they're not truly evil, like a generic, like, bad guy. You know what I mean? And so I feel like they just need better writing. That's all. They just need better writing for, like, these villains, man. Like, just keep
curse
going.
of death and all. And then Death was the next big baddie, and now he's like, there's something worse. There has to be more, right? We still learned nothing about the why. He was the Arbiter before, I guess, but why did all this stuff happen? As the Arbiter, did he see a vision of things to come? Is that in the game? Is that something I've missed? Why is all of this Why didn't he just say to everyone else, like, there's some crazy shit coming? To the other people in charge of the afterlife, where they're like, no, we're not worried. So his plan was to destroy everything or dominate everything?
I don't know.
By destroying it? In order to prevent what's coming? Which is, again, something Blizzard always does. It's always
something bigger, guys.
See you next expansion. It's always gotcha and our hooks about this little twist. And after a while, that shit gets old. What's more insane is this dude was behind everything. Everything that we've experienced, the Jailer was behind it. The entire flow of the game up to this point. This is, at least according to the devs, a 20-year story that ends with this. It's giving me a good idea for a video to make, that's for sure. It's giving me a great idea for a video. I keep thinking about the Covenant leaders. That's what they're called.
Oh, yeah,
the four Covenant leaders. Shouldn't they have informed us of any of this? Did they not know? Clearly they knew stuff.
They probably knew stuff, yeah. You would think so.
I genuinely hate this. I have no words for how...
All right. And there it is. That is Jesse's reaction, me reacting to Jesse. I mean, listen, I agree with it. It just, I've already said it before in this video, it just feels so generic. It feels so generic. And I feel like we've moved past that as just a video game culture. Like, we have good stories now in video games. We have really good stories in video games. So why do we still have, like, this generic stuff and, like, this, I was the lesser bad guy, there's an even bigger bad guy, and then the next expansion's like, there's an even bigger bad guy behind me, and it's like, oh, watch out for N'Zoth, he's pretty crazy. Then we just kill him like he's nothing. Like, yeah, N'Zoth's gone, but there's an even bigger bad guy. Like, it's gotta stop at some point. There's gotta be the guy at the top, right? And if it keeps going, nobody's gonna care. Like, who cares? It just gets to a point where nobody cares, and I think we've hit that point. We need something different. We need something that's going to make you hate the villain. You know what I mean? If we're not going to have like a gray area type of villain, we need like somebody that we truly despise, that we want to take down. What's this guy doing? Oh, he's hurting people. We need somebody that like finds the things people love in World of Warcraft, and he just wants to like destroy them. You know what I mean? Like the next villain in World of Warcraft, just this guy that he finds the things you love in WoW. He pinpoints everything. He's like, you like pet battles? I'm gonna capture all the pets. Oh yeah, you like classic WoW? I'm gonna take this copy of classic WoW and just throw it in the fire. And I'm gonna insult all of the classes. Molten Core was trash, and you're trash. Encourage was easy. He just starts insulting you. People be like, holy shit, we gotta take this guy down. Like, this stuff writes itself. So I mean, that's all we need. Just somebody that can truly make everyone despise him as the villain. And I feel like they just don't know how to do that. When I don't think it's that hard, to be honest. I could probably write this in like a day. I just wrote like a villain in like 20 seconds that would probably do better than the jailer. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, and YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay. See ya.